Hello, everybody. This is Alyssa from Make Arts and Crafts, and today we have the final small shop sponsor showcase. I finally said that right after, an entire month. I finally said that right. Small shop sponsor showcase for the sponsors that were amazingly kind enough to help support my event, the Lunar New Year DP Along. So today we are going to talk about one of my favorite shops ever, and probably one that I have, patronaged the most in a way, and that is DP with Sparklers, or Diamond Painting with Sparklers. So the website here you can see is dpwithsparklers.com. I do have to say the website feels like a little bit of an older style website, so I find that I have to do this website on my iPad. I typically do not do any DP with Sparkler shopping on my phone. You do have to log in, like create an account and log in order to be able to see like prices and everything on anything, which is easy enough to do. You can see I have like a random 39 things sitting in my cart, which I'm not going to purchase because I already have purchased some of them because I think I had opened it differently. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and take a look. This is DP with Sparklers, and they are Tima. She is fantastic. She's amazing. I absolutely love her to pieces. I actually have gotten to meet her a couple different times as well, so that was pretty cool. But she's always such a huge member of the community and always there to support. This is, and she does lives on Friday nights, so you can always go over to her channel, which I'll have down in the description. You can go over to her channel and watch her for the weekend, like Friday night lives. That's kind of like a great start to your weekend, is jumping in on her lives on Friday nights. So we're going to go ahead and break into it. So when you first go to the DP with Sparklers, this is the page that you're going to see. And you can see she's got different product categories: 3D items, clearance, diamond paintings, digital products, new stuff, round drills, sets, specially shaped drills, square drills, and the different tools that you'll have right through there. So this is something that, and you can see you've also got the categories right across the top as well. Basically all of the special drills that I purchased tend to be from DP with Sparklers. I have a very, very, very small amount that I purchased from elsewhere, but my go-to for specials is DP with Sparklers. I absolutely love DP with Sparklers. I find it like absolutely fantastic. The quality of the drills is excellent. The amount of drills you get is excellent as well. And there is some really, really awesome documents that they have put together along with some of their customers, and some really good experts in their Facebook page have put together this amazing document, which I will pull up and show you guys as well once we kind of look through the website a little bit, which has been like instrumentally awesome in helping me plan out my bling for my canvases. And I'll talk about the enhancement suggestions as well. So if this is something that if you want to enhance your canvas and you have no clue what to do, a great way to start is with the enhancement suggestions. And I'll go over those for you. So if you're like, well, I want to do this, but I don't know what to do as far as like how to do it, just hang tight. I'll go over a little bit of that for you. I've also got multiple videos up on the channel that talk about how I enhance diamond paintings. And I absolutely love doing it. Every single person has a different view of what they love when it comes to enhancements. Some of us like certain types of drills more than others. We'll use them in different ways. We have different ways of enhancing and blinging out the canvas. So I can only speak to what my method is and my way of doing things. But that's something that if you want to see how I do it and what I do, then absolutely by all means go check out some of these other videos that I have. They're in my Blingy the Thingy channel page. So first up, you've got like a contact page where you can reach out and contact Tima right through there. Also, if you are a creator and you're hosting an event, you can go through this link right here that says sponsorship to fill out your details and your information to request sponsorship from DP with Sparklers. And usually what Tima does is she'll do like a couple $15 gift cards is what she does, which is awesome. That's a great way, like if you're new to enhancing and you just want to like kind of get an idea of what to purchase, that's a great way to kind of like, if you win win one of those prizes, one of those giveaways, that's awesome. And from here, you can see it's divided up into the categories up top. We're going to kind of go over the drills. You can see how it's divided up. You can go with round drills, special shaped drills, and square drills. And at the end of this, I'll show you guys some of the drills that I have. I'm not going to go over all of them because I literally have so many specials that I have accumulated over the last 3 years of diamond painting. So we are definitely not going to go over literally everything. So we're not going to do everything that I have, but I'm going to kind of show you guys so you can get an idea of what they actually look like and how I kind of store them and everything. So as you come down, you can see with your round drills, you've got sparklers, which are basically a glass drill. You have your ABs, Aurora Borealis drills. Those have that Northern Lights kind of coating on them, so they give you all sorts of colors. Bubbles, which are a really cool type of drill. You have your crystals, which are kind of like the rhinestones that you'd think of. You have glitter drills, which are probably my least favorite. Well, there's my second least favorite drill. The glitter is kind of like my second to least favorite. Glow drills, which are glow in the dark. Those actually happen to be my absolute least favorite. I do not ever put glow drills on a canvas, and that's just my own personal preference. I know a lot of people love glow drills, so they will actually add glow drills to their canvas. You have your metallics, you have your neons. I don't really use the neons unless it's like a canvas that has those bright colors. Pixie dust, which is their version of fairy dust, which are absolutely fantastic. I love having those. Those are a great accent. My favorite type of drill, really, I think my go-to for everything ends up being an AB. And then they have the pearls for rounds. So these are going to be like kind of like they cover up 4 squares. I'll talk about that. And then there's some plain drills and then quad cubes as well. So that's what you'll see underneath those. And then if we go with the special shaped drills, you have pearls for squares, which are tiny little ones. And then you have the big bling, which are different types of special drills. And I'll show you guys some of those. And there's all sorts of really cool ones. Square drills, which you're going to have all of like the same types of square drills as what you have with the round drills. They do not have, so what's really interesting why the spreadsheet that I mentioned is so fantastic is because they don't have every single drill special that they have in round. They do not have that same exact thing necessarily in squares. So sometimes it very much depends on what their manufacturer can create and like send to them. And sometimes, you know, die lots change, so it won't be the color match that they thought, that type of thing. So things are always kind of fluid. They'll put like their new listings of things that they're releasing, and they usually do a new release every month. A great way to start if you don't know what you want and you want to kind of have an idea of like a starter set, that's where this comes in handy as sets. I like buying things as sets because then I get a whole bunch of things. You got different tools, 3D printed items. So we'll start a little bit in some of the 3D printed items. So they have these adorable little 3D printed things, and it kind of changes every month. They'll do something new. These are cute. These little rainbow hippos for trash drills are the cutest little thing ever. I like this colorway right here. So basically you throw your trash drills in the mouth, and they also glow in the dark, which I wouldn't necessarily use the glow in the dark part, but that's super cute. And then, so you'll have all of these random little things. You've got the hippos, lots of different hippo colors. They have what's called a dazzle deck. So a dazzle deck with the different colors. I'm going to show what the dazzle deck looks like. I have one. I don't use it very often, primarily because I don't store my drills that way anymore. But we're going to pull up so you can see what the dazzle deck looks like. So the dazzle deck is one that you can use to display your drills. So basically you would buy the insert separately from the framework. And the framework is going to be the 2 side pieces and then the 2 horizontal pieces. And then the insert you would buy based on whether you want round one for those round drills or if you need square for square drills. I personally use square drill containers myself instead of these rounds. I used to use the round containers like this, but now I use the square ones. So that's something that will be dependent upon what inserts you have or have purchased. So you have the dazzle decks as you come down through, and then there's the jerry-majigger, which is basically, it's kind of a way to line up your canvas to be able to start the canvas with these perfectly smooth edges. For square drills in particular, it gives you that nice even edge in perfect alignment, kind of like this. You don't have to, so for those that don't want a full-blown like a full ruler, the jerry-majigger helps to kind of line up your edges really well because it'll stick to the canvas, but then you can pull it off. And then they of course have some trash cans, the jerry-majiggers, different colors, all sorts of different colors for them. And then here are the inserts. So they actually have these inserts for the art dot drawers, which I was using, but then I had so many of these art dot drawers that I was like, it's not feasible for me to buy an insert for every single one of them. And that's part of why I moved to the different type of storage, because it was more cost effective for me to swap my storage and not do like this, because the bottles would tip over. There's nothing to keep them organized. So that's why I went away from it. But I do absolutely love having these inserts for those. They're a very snug fit, but you can see them all right through there. They were great for kind of holding things upright. And then as we come down, so that's, and here you can see these are like the inserts for their containers where you can have the square containers or the round containers. So you can see how that looks right there. So now we're going to go ahead and look. That was those. We're going to kind of look a little bit at some of the sets. So with the sets, one of the things that you have border sets. So if you want to do a cool border, this is going to give you round or square. I bought this set like early on, and I actually used this set for my the unicorn canvas that I did. I did this set right here, which but then I also just picked a few different colors and added some additional bulky ones, but you can look at how that would look. So they sell it in both the set for both rounds, and then they also sell it for squares. So you can kind of enhance the border for some of those canvases that have that really plain background. This is a way that you can kind of work on it and add some interest with like the rainbow colors with the quad cubes and the ABs, which I think looks spectacular, especially when you, depending on what canvas you're using it on. If you have one that just has that plain Jane background, then this is a great way to kind of spice it up a little bit. And I love it. It's like the one that I have that I did this with is so pretty. I love it. But that's going to be your border sets. They'll also do some sets depending on like any events you may participate in, but that's going to be kind of like vary. Jar sets are one of the things that I love, and I probably have every single one of these little sets in here just because I love my specials so much. So there's one for slivers, sliverettes, quad pearls, quad cubes. I'll show you guys what these drills look like. Half pearls, pearls for squares, big sparklers for squares. I'll go over what all of those look like for you, but that's a great way to do it. And then they'll have like some limited edition sets, but I'm going to go over to like the specialty drill sets. So this is a set for quad cubes, lots of colors and variety there. And then starter sets. So this is a great way to kind of get started with some different types of drills, because they're kind of put together into some kind of standard packs of what would go well together to get you started. So you have some that are like for sparklers, and then you have ones that are just general, like 20 color starter sets for ABs. You have a starter enhancement set for like basically autumn tones, basic primary colors. You have neutrals, you have earthy tones, purples, grays, blues. So all of these different varieties. So if you're like, hey, my canvas has a ton of these shades in there, you can potentially just buy one of these starter sets, and that's a great way to get started. Some of the first purchases I ever made were these starter sets like this. Because if you look at it, we'll just look at this one with the ocean tones. So you can see this starter set, basically you end up with 2 ABs, 2 crystals, 2 pixie dust, and some sparklers for squares. And this is a square set. So it gives you that variety of colors. And it's great to, if you don't know what to do and how to do it, you basically say, okay, I've got a canvas that has a ton of this tone, these color palette, and you just start adding some of these drills in and see where they fit. That's what a sparkler looks like close up. There's a crystal, and there's another crystal right there. There's an aurora borealis or an AB, another type of AB. They're just so pretty. Here's a pixie dust. You can see that pixie dust right there. I love this shade of pixie dust there. So you can see that's kind of what you would get in this particular set. So I love sets. I think they're fantastic. And now we're going to kind of look at some of the different types of round drills. So I'll kind of show you guys. Basically, you can go through all of these different categories. And within the crystals, you have multiple types of crystal. You have crystal ABs, you have crystal confetti, you have regular crystals, and then you have crystal metallics. I personally absolutely love the crystal confetti and the crystal AB. Those are 2 of like my favorite type of drills. I love the crystal AB. I love the crystal confetti. I think they really add an amazing accent to everything. The crystal metallics, which ones are the crystal metallics? Because I'm like, how do those differ from the regular metallics? But yeah, so that's why you get all of these different variety of things. You also have some random other things that you can purchase from here. I'm not going to go into all of the canvases and all of the things because there's so many options. They also do have a handful of diamond paintings that you can purchase that were actually created by DP with Sparklers. One of them that I do want is this little stained glass baby dragons. It's the cutest little thing ever. So these are ones that Timo they had started doing diamond paintings. They still have some of these diamond paintings available for purchase. The Hawaiian girl is gorgeous, and the stained glass baby dragons is absolutely gorgeous. So if you want some diamond paintings that are fantastic quality and have plenty of specials, and you get them for a super affordable price, then this is like where you can go to get some really bright, vibrant, rainbow colored canvases. So this one is going to be a mixed drill. Basically, it means that it has lots of specials. So this one has 24 colors. And of those 24 colors, you have 12 ABs, 1 crystal, and 3 special shapes. Well, actually, you have 24 regulars, 12 ABs, 1 crystal, and 3 special shapes. That's 51 total colors. And it looks really cool when you get that variety of colors. And you can see how clear cut the canvas is, how it looks with all the drills down, super sparkly. And this kind of shows you what all you have. So you have a lot of variety with it. And I think that's excellent. You can also get a coordinating release paper from Crafts with Crashly. I don't use release papers, but you can see how beautifully sparkly this canvas is and how you have some of this big bling scattered in here. So there's some of the big bling right in here. Also, you have some of it right up there in the eye. There's kind of scattered throughout. So there's definitely different choices with it, but that's some of the diamond paintings. There's also random other things that you can find on here, like tools that you could use for your diamond painting, which can be a whole variety of things that can fall underneath the tools. But I'm not going to go in depth on that. We're going to talk a little bit about the enhancement suggestions. So one of the cool things, they have 2 different ways of going about your enhancement suggestions. One way is these enhancement suggestions printables. So these are basically, enhancement suggestions are basically Tima and Cheryl. They go through and they essentially, if it's a kit that they own, they'll go through and they'll plan the bling for that kit. And what they do as a suggestion, that's the whole thing, it's a suggestion. And if you like the suggestion of what it is, then you can purchase all of the drills, or you just purchase the onesies and twosies of the drills depending on what you want to do. You don't have to purchase literally everything. So we're going to look at this one. So you can see this right here, 13th Hour by Yume Art and Diamond Art Club. This is basically where they would recommend and how they would do it. So essentially what you'll see, this is the originally charted drill, which would be a 169, and they recommend replacing it with metallic chill. So when you see it like this, where it's entire canvas except for the skin tones, you're not going to enhance the skin. But here for the rest of the canvas, these are the colors that you're going to do you're going to be, so you've got some metallic, you've got some glitter, you've got some sparklers, more glitter, sparklers, you have pixie dust, crystal, pearls for squares, crystal confetti, pearl, like you have a lot of different type of special drill right through here. And this is one of those that you would change throughout the entirety of the canvas. So it's a 1-for-1 swap unless it's in a skin tone. So that and then do not lick my Starbucks container, Sumo, you little brat child. She's licking. I had Starbucks and I've still got a little bit of my matcha left, and she was licking the cream off of the straw area because she's a turd. So the first page shows you that this particular canvas, 1-for-1 swap of those colors. And now to make it easier for purchasing, this is what you would need to buy. So if it says this right here for any of the crystals, you'll buy 2 bags of 310 crystal, you'll buy 2 bags of 922 crystal confetti, 2 bags of glitter 400, 1 bag of glitter 830. So that kind of shows you how much you need to purchase. Which then tells you it should be 18 total items that you would be purchasing for this canvas, because some is 2 bags, others are just 1 bag. But that gives you an idea for that. Now we're going to look at another one, and we're going to see if we can have one that has, I'm trying to find one that has some areas enhanced, but some areas not. We're just going to pick on some and see if there's any. So some of these, they're like the entire canvas. Let me see if there's something that has like a relatively plain background. I'm looking for one where we would be enhancing just the portions of the canvas. Yeah, these are still entire canvas. Let's see if we have another one. Let me see if that one. Okay. Yes, this is an example. So this Beachcomber's Bounty, you have the list of what you would enhance when you're for the entire canvas is going to be all of those options right there. And this particular color, the way you read it is basically if it's in the water, you're going to be using kind of like this way right here where you have the quad cubes interspersed. So that's what you're seeing on here for that photo. You're going to use this crystal to replace that one particular color, and then you're also going to use quad cubes scattered throughout. So it's a little bit of both for that one. And then there is also a different bling suggestions for the dragonfly itself. And when you look at this image, it's so subtle to see, but you can see here's our little dragonfly right here. So he's up on he's right here on the log is where we see our little dragonfly. And these are the suggestions for the dragonfly, which is a little bit different. And you can see this is what it would look like. You've got a quad cube, you've got these slivers, then you have some other specials, and then you have other ones right here. So that's what they're suggesting enhancement wise and how they want it to look. So they try to make it like really easy for you to work on this and follow. But that's how you would follow this when I do enhancements, I'll have like, I pick elements to enhance. So it'd be like, okay, I may, maybe depending on what the image is, I may only want to enhance the colors that are in this, this glass bottle here, but not necessarily those same colors somewhere else, like in the water. And that's when I would say like green glass jar, or you want to enhance just a couple of the stones. You would specify, that's how I break it up. So it's by aspect. So you can see here, the dragonfly, you're enhancing these drills just in the dragonfly. And you can see this shows you that full list of enhancements, how many of each bag you need for your purchasing. And then this right here is basically where they recommend kind of like a revision update. So if you had the older style, so sometimes colorways changed, like they may no longer carry a type of drill. So now you have something else that you have to use instead. But if that's not confusing enough, this is where you can find a whole massive list of those enhancement suggestions by artists or by the name of the canvas. What's really cool as you go through is you'll find that so some of them, like this one right here, is one of the Diamond Art Club Amazon canvases. So you can see they even have suggestions for those ones. Also coming down here, like this right here is a Dreamer Designs canvas. So this shows you, yep, there you've got lists for the entire canvas and then a couple drills that you're going to do that are just on the cupcake. So that shows you for this one, this is a Dreamer Designs. So they don't do just Diamond Art Club. They'll do other companies as well. Most common tends to be Diamond Art Club because that's what we tend to have the most of. But here, this one is, so let's see, as we come down, there's Dreamer Designs. A lot of times they'll have them by company. So here's a couple of a Muni-made canvas. So this is showing you what you would do to enhance this Muni-made canvas. So as you can see, there's ones that are very depending on the company. And you can see that gives you an idea of what else to do just for that canvas. It's not just Diamond Art Club. You can find suggestions for other ones as well. There tend to be the majority, like I said, about there tend to be the majority are Diamond Art Club, but there are other companies you can find in here. And I want to say, I need to look at what they're suggesting for Fushimi Inari. I plan on doing that canvas. I do have it kitted up, so I want to see what they're suggesting for Fushimi Inari. Okay. I'll have to see what I think and what else I want to potentially add to this now that I have it kitted up. Because I will definitely add a lot. I love ABs, so I tend to add more ABs than pretty much any of the other ones do. But that is how you would find these printable enhancement suggestions, and you can download those with no issues. They also, if you're like, hey, I want to make it easy and I want just a one-click button to buy all of the enhancements for that one suggestion, that's where they come here. Not all of the enhancement suggestions that they have are available as one-click buttons to press and purchase them as one set. We're gonna see if this will actually load for me. My internet has been acting up. Ooh, got toasty in here. I'm gonna take my Udi off, and then we will. This is gonna be like a long video. Oh my goodness. I mean, you guys should be used to it from me. That's what I excel at, is long videos. But this will show you, these are the bundles, and these ones are grouped by company. So you can see this is the Shop 3 Crazy Cats. I've never actually heard of them. Here's Art Dot, Bella Art Diamonds, and you can see when you look at it, I have this canvas. So basically, you could be like, okay, we're going to do that, and now for all of the enhancements, I can do it in a one-click button and add all of those in one go. The one downside, you cannot, because this is a matter of convenience, so you can't use a discount code for the bundles like this. But if you were to go through and add every single one of these individually to your cart, you would then be able to, you could add these individually, and then you could get you go to her Facebook page, or her Facebook group, and she usually has a discount code, and you can get a 10% off. And this is something that, as you can see, you've got those choices. So if you just click the add to cart button, you're going to be adding all of these into your cart. So for the convenience of them going through and finding them all for you individually like this as a set, that's something that you're going to pay a little bit more for, basically full price. You're not going to get a discount for it, which I've done that for a number of them. Now I have enough specials that I usually look at what I have in my hoard, and then I go from there. But yeah, you can't use coupons for that product or discount codes for those. So anyways, that is the website. I'm going to go over something else that's absolutely fantastic and show you. All right. So this right here is what the printable DMC cheat sheet. This is available off of the Facebook group, the DP with Sparklers Facebook group. You can download this. This is in the files right there. So basically, this is what has been put together by basically from DP with Sparklers, Angelina Sargent, who is an amazing enhancer. She loves her sparklers, and then additional others that have continued for it. And this will give you the glossary of what to think of, and you've got where you could jump from page to page for there. So you can see how I clicked on that. It's an interactive PDF. So now I clicked on that. It took me to this page here. So what's great about this is when I'm enhancing a canvas, I look at the canvas and I'll say, okay, for this portion of the canvas, I want to make this, I want to enhance these things, and I want that color to be an AB, this color to be a dust, this one to be a sparkler, this one to be a crystal confetti. Well, then I have to, it's not always a 1-for-1 color match. So a 208 AB does not always render as a 208 color. So that's when you'd come over here and you'd say, okay, for 208 on a round drill canvas, I want to make this in AB. So for a 208 AB, this is what I would, what you could do. And this will show you, okay, here's the things that they have that match a 208. So you've got crystal ABs. So if you wanted to replace the 208 with a crystal AB 550, that would be the drill you would buy to replace 208. You come down here, if you want to add a glitter, your 208 regular drill would be a glitter 333. So you can see how that varies, how you could use either a Pixie Dust 208 or a Pixie Dust 550. There's also sparklers. So you can see how this one, there's not just like a straight AB that they have that matches color-wise. The closest would be this Pearls for Squares AB 209. But that's how you would read this. If you're like, okay, I want a Pixie Dust that replaces 224, you come over here and you can see how it says you've got a Pixie Dust 758 or Pixie Dust 3706 or 3824. Those are 3 different options that you can do, which is great if something is sold out. Then you just pick an alternate. So I usually do this and I'll write down a list. I'll have like a running list and I'll say, okay, this drill I'm going to replace. I'll show you guys what I, well, actually, let me pull my logbook up so you can see how I write out my suggestions, because that'll make sense when you look at this. All right. So this right here is Naughty Space Void. We're going to turn the light on so you can see better. This is Naughty Space Void when I enhanced Naughty Space Void. And you can see I did by section. So it's like I had certain things that I did for potentially for the entire canvas, but I really went by portion. So I would say, okay, for the Monstera on the upper left of the canvas, which was this section right here, for that Monstera, these were the charted drills right here. And this is what I replaced them with. So I replaced that 935 with a crystal 3021, and I found the DMC replacement by using this spreadsheet right here, if that makes sense for you. So I was like, okay, for a 610, so we'll do 435 because it's not that far. So a 435, I wanted it to be a dust drill, so we're going to come down to our 435, and I'll show you with the light off in a second. So we come here and we can see these are all of our options right over here for 435. So we say, okay, what do they have that I can use a dust drill for? So you could either use a 779 or a 780 to replace the regular drill 435, which is what you see right here, 779 dust. So that's how you use this this spreadsheet or this PDF, and it is an amazing, amazing resource. I use it all the time. Every time I enhance a kit, I use this spreadsheet or this PDF. But yeah, so that's how I do that. So now I'm going to pull out some specials and show you guys. All right, so now that I have gone over all of that, I'm going to pull up and show you guys my actual specials. So for the ones that are odd sizes, I store them here. These are kind of like those example little set type things. So you can see here, these are the half pearl type drills. I'll pull them out so you can see some of them a little bit better. This one's a little easier to see. This is my Cosmic Celestial. And you can see these are like those bubbly half drills. They cover 4 drills on your canvas. This right here are your slivers, or these are the sliverettes. So they cover 2 drills. You can see they're small like that. The actual slivers themselves, I don't have very many actual slivers. I tend to prefer the sliverettes. The slivers themselves cover, they're larger. So you can see how this drill is going to cover a larger space and more of the actual. So this one's basically, you can see how this looks right here, and you can see how you'd be covering like, I think it's like 3 drills or 3 or 4 drill spots with that. You can see how much larger that is, and you do it if you have like a border, a frame, that type of thing that you want to enhance. Those are the slivers. The sliverettes are smaller. They just cover 2 spots, like a 1x2. Then you have your quad cubes, and the quad cubes are going to cover 4 spots. And you can see this is what they look like, the quad cubes. You've seen those. Diamond Art Club does have those in some canvases. You'll find these quad cubes. So that's kind of some of the different shapes that we have in here. And I have them all kind of stored in these little containers for these little ones because they don't take up a ton of space. And then we come over here. This is some additional ones. I was trying different types of storage for these. You can see these are, again, these are the bubbles for squares big, which is those big ones. I do love these. These are bubbles for squares big in Oasis. These are some of the coolest drills ever. I do love them. I use these on one of my Jeremiah Kettners, the Midnight Owl Jeremiah Kettner that I have. So it's such a cool drill. It's a glass drill, and it's the backing of the drill that has the color. So you're seeing it through, which is why when you turn it sideways, it's clear, but vertical, you've got the color. So I love these bubbles. I think they're super cool. They also sell bubbles that work for a 1 drill replacement. These are for a 4 spot. Then you also have what are called charms. So these are going to be the charms, and they cover like a much larger grid, like a 3x3. So they cover nine drills is what they cover, and you pop it down. And I've used these on a couple different canvases. You can see it in when I did hang in there. I used some yellow charms for hang in there for like the pollen accents. They also have not just the quad cubes, you also have what are called the hexa cubes, which these are a 2x3 spot that they cover. So you can see there's options when we look at the special drills, different shapes as well, the quad pearls as well. And then there's these cool ones that are called twisted stars. So these are ones where it's a star shape, and you'd put it in here, and then you would have the regular drills kind of in those 4 corners. So it's kind of something that sits as a little bit of an accent, depending on which one. This one you could do as like a quad cube, where you position it just like that, and you've got your drills next to it. And then they have a different type of star that you can cover a little bit, that can cover a little bit of a different shape as well. These right here, this is one of the sets that they sell like this, where it's half pearls. And it's like you have your cheat sheet, which tells you what each thing is. And you can see these are the half pearls, which are, you know, a pearl. And these are for rounds. They also sell them for squares. The 6mm are going to be for rounds. The 5mm are for squares. Quad cubes will work on both. And you can see this will show you the colors that I've used a lot of right in there. 4 canvases like this one, that one, some of those pinks. So that gives you those ideas of drills. So those are some of the odd shaped drills. This is how I store all of my special drills. And all of my spare drills are in these storage containers that I picked up off of Amazon. They're basically like A4. They're basically these squares. I have crystal confetti in here, crystals, and then I have my crystals run from here to here. And then I have the bubbles for squares, which are the small version of what I showed you over there. I just cut my fingernails, so now I'm not going to be able to pick this up. So these right here are the bubbles for squares. You can see how little they are. They also have bubbles for rounds. The bubbles they have just bubbles for round drills. These are for the square drills, so they're a little bit smaller. Same thing with their pearls for squares and their sparklers for squares. Those are all going to be round. Oh my goodness, I literally just cut my fingernails. So you can see how little those are. Those are the sparklers for squares, so they're going to be the glass drill, but they're made for the square canvas. So yes, you can use round drills labeled sparklers for squares, pearls for squares, bubbles for squares on a square drill canvas, and it actually looks great. So now I'm going to pull up, this is one of my favorite type of drill is the crystal confetti. They don't have a ton of colors of the crystal confetti, but I think it's amazing. I love it. So basically it's a crystal that has this glitter on it, not a mica glitter, but not like a dust glitter, but it's a really cool glitter that's on it, and it's not a glitter drill. So I do not like the glitter drills, and you'll see I do not have very many. And then we look at that versus, you know, just a straight crystal drill. So you can see, boom, right there, just straight crystal. And these are like fantastic. I absolutely love having all of these different specials. I also have ABs and dust drills. I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull out a canvas or two that I have enhanced and show you where you can use some of those different canvases or drills on, and then we will call it good, because this is ending up so much longer than I expected because I love my specials so much. So I'm going to show you what I did for enhancing the canvas katana, and I used a variety of different specials on this. So this is Katana by Vincent Trinidad. It is a Diamond Art Club canvas. So for this canvas, the background is charted as solid black. It's a 310 background, and you know, I love my color blocking, but color blocking this much 310 where it's very hard to see, especially when a square canvas, definitely is a challenge. So I added a dust background. I used a dust drill that I already had. I think this is 413 Pixie Dust. I had a bunch of it that I had purchased for something else, and I had a bunch left over. So I used this to create a grid. I laid down the dust first in this grid pattern, and you can pick whatever size you want. I did that in this grid pattern here, which you can see it laid out in the background of the canvas, and I love how it turned out. Even though this drill ended up being significantly lighter than I wanted, I was going for something that was closer to the black, but I was going with what I had rather than having to purchase more. So you can see it looks really cool having that as an enhancement. I also added, like, some ABs were charted into here. So we had a blue, a black, and an orange and a cream color. So here's the cream color that was charted. Here is the orangey color that was charted, was this as an AB. So you can see the AB and the kanji that was charted. The whiskers were charted. The black of the eyes and the whiskers were charted. I do not like that use of 310 AB. I do not like it for the eyes at all. And then the other thing that was charted in was the blue that we see, this blue AB that's like right in there on our little fishy. Those are what was charted. I added the rest of these specials in here. And as you look, you can see here we have a crystal. So that's a red crystal I added. And then you can see here I added like a dust drill. And then as we come up, this is a blue teal dust that I added. And then this is a crystal confetti. I'm gonna show you what it looks like with the light on, and with the light off, it's hard to kind of catch. You can see some of the colors better, but it's a crystal confetti, so it does have that glitter in there. That's what I added for this area. The blue AB was charted in here, but that's what I added over here. So now we're gonna come over to this side, and you can see same thing. I added this crystal, this red crystal, and then that red dust drill. And then I added, this one is a crystal confetti that you're seeing right there as that crystal. So I like crystals to kind of, anything that could be wet looks fantastic with crystals. It's also great for some of the darker tones for like shadows on like trees and leaves and branches. I like it to use the greens there, but that's kind of what you see. Anything that would be wet, I like to use a crystal for, which is why I did it on the fish. And then also up on our little nose. I added in some other accent areas where it looks great, but that kind of gives you an idea of what using some of these drills will look like. When we come into here, I can actually show you on Katana itself. So I didn't do a ton of bling on Katana. Some I do a lot. Katana I did not. So you can see I added a fairy dust, fairy dust, fairy dust, crystal confetti, crystal, fairy dust, and crystal confetti. And that's because it was already charted with 4 ABs. So I just added some dust drills and crystal, and then some crystal confetti to this to kind of give it what you're seeing there. And that's something that I love, the simplicity and the fun of being able, well, it's not really, it can be simple. I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is a knife. I want the knife to be shiny and sparkly. So I did dust for the knife blade. That's the same color as this portion, this tan that we're seeing right there, that creamy tan. I left this portion unenhanced. That's what was charted. I just enhanced the knife. And that's something that I like to do, is those enhancements on aspects of the canvas. But I know this was a very long-winded, very long video, but bottom line, I love enhancements. I love DP with sparklers for purchasing all of my enhancements. I have so many. I have, like, I could kit up so many canvases and work on so many kits with the enhancements that I already have without even purchasing anything more. And that's what I need to do. But then I'm a sucker because there'll be a canvas and I'm like, I need to buy enhancements that I don't have because I want to do XYZ. So yeah. Anyways, that is a little bit about DP with sparklers and how you can use the enhancements. You can go light. You can literally add, like I started off, I would swap out like one color on a canvas. That was it. I would be like, I want to add one color, one special to this canvas. That's how I began. And then it's like evolved. And now I just love being able to do this. And now I have friends that are like, hey, can you give me suggestions for enhancing this canvas? Show me what you would do on this canvas. So I do that regularly for my friends, as long as I have, like, you know, the picture and where I can see what symbols are charted. You do not. That is my Starbucks mochi. She's like, Mom, I must have. Stop. Don't give me that face, Mo. So that's what I do. I'll, as long as I can see the symbols and, you know, have the chart, the legend, I'll be like, I would enhance these ones with an AB, this one with a fairy dust, and then it's on them to use that PDF that I talked about to figure out which drills they want to purchase. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video about DP with sparklers and enhancing canvases, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.